You ever have that moment? You're in a conversation, you have something to say, but you just freeze, worried about getting it wrong? Well, we're going to talk about why the real key to speaking with confidence isn't at all what you might think it is. Seriously, think about it. We spend so much time and energy trying to get every single rule right, making sure our grammar is just perfect. But what if that's actually distracting us? What if the thing that's really stopping us from communicating clearly has nothing to do with grammar at all? So before we get into the roadblocks, let's make sure we're all on the same page. What's the actual goal here? What are we really trying to do when we speak? When you really boil it all down, it's this simple, right? Whether you're in a big work meeting, just hanging out with friends, or maybe even trying to learn a whole new language, the end goal isn't to be flawless. It's about connection. It's just being understood. Okay, so if the goal is that simple, why does it feel so incredibly hard sometimes? Well, it's because we're not just aiming for connection. A lot of the time, we're actually running away from a pretty powerful fear. It's such a frustrating feeling, isn't it? You know exactly what you want to say. The idea is crystal clear in your head, but something just blocks it. Let's really dig in and figure out what that something is. And it usually comes down to this vicious cycle. We put all this pressure on ourselves to be perfect. That pressure creates this deep fear of making even the tiniest mistake. And what does that fear do? It makes us hesitate, it makes us shy, and before you know it, we've just decided not to speak at all. So, we've figured out the problem. It's not about what you know, it's about how you feel. And that means the solution has to be something completely different. It's about a total shift in how we approach this whole thing. The big breakthrough isn't going to come from memorizing another textbook of grammar rules. Nope. It comes from changing the game entirely, from making a simple, but honestly an incredibly powerful shift in your mindset. And this is it. This is the big idea, the simple truth at the very heart of all of this. You don't need perfect grammar to speak. You need courage. The courage to be messy, to be imperfect, to try, and to care more about connecting with someone than being corrected. That's the whole game changer. Now, that sounds great as an idea, right? But let's see what it actually looks like in the real world. Let's walk through a little story that proves this whole thing works. So picture someone taking this on. It all starts with one simple decision. I'm going to speak every single day, no excuses. And yeah, at first, they're going to make mistakes. Of course they will. But the key is they don't see them as failures. They see them as practice. Then, over time, they start to notice little things. They're a bit more confident, the words flow a little easier, and the final result? It's not about being perfect. It's something way, way better. It's being a clear, effective communicator. That journey is such a fantastic blueprint for anyone. So let's bring this all back home. Let's talk about how you can start making this shift for yourself, like right now. So this is the choice we all get to make. You've got the old mindset on one side, obsessing over perfection, being terrified of mistakes, with this impossible goal of flawless grammar. And then you have the new way, focusing on courage, embracing practice as part of the deal, and aiming for what really matters, just clear communication. And that really brings us right here to the final thought. This isn't about some huge 5-year plan to become a world-class orator. It's about one small step you can take today. So I'm going to leave you with this one simple question. What is one thing you have the courage to say today?